everybody had a freaking talk show.
A talk show? Oh, talk show. Sorry. I thought it was like slang for a drug.
No, sometimes I slur and I think it's because I'm having a stroke. Welcome to Wine About It.
Welcome to Wine About It. No, I actually did things this weekend.
Huge.
A lot of things.
I did nothing and I've been spiraling, which sounds like a Patreon content, but...
We could talk about my fun weekend on here and then talk about your spiraling on Patreon.
Easy.
Easy.
Love it.
Okay. Here's what happened. FaZe Lacey texts me. He says, "You know who the Outdoor Boys are?" And I said, No. And then he said, "Well, I want to do a 48-hour survival marathon like the Outdoor Boys." And I said, "Okay." And he asked me where to do it because he wanted to do it in Texas. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't do it in LA.
I don't know why either.
Maybe because they're doing it with Sketch. I don't know. He was like, "I want to do it in Texas. Where do I go?" And so I gave him a couple places. He was like, "But I want to go into the woods and like make a shelter and whatever."
Should have just had them do it in the back corner of Alveus.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe. But I told him he couldn't just go out into the woods because Texas is all private land. So like he'd get shot if he just like went out into the woods. So I gave him a campsite. Okay. It was him, Ron, and Sketch.
The dream team and for surviving.
The survival dream team. And they said that they wanted to do like a survival thing, but they brought like tents and shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
They brought tents and like lighters and sleeping bag. Like they're camping. It's 48 hours of camping.
If they don't have TikTok, they're surviving.
Yeah, true. We have that to talk about today as well. So they went out. They tried to set up their tent. Could not. So they're like 3 hours into their stream and it's like getting cold and they're thinking about tapping out and it's supposed to be a 48-hour stream and they couldn't set up their tent. So I called Lacey and I was like, "No way you're quitting right now. Like I can come out there. I can help you set up the tent." And then I just hear like a pff, and then screaming. And I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Did you see the Sketch clip?
Yeah. I didn't know you were a part of that.
I was on the phone with Lacey and Sketch. If you guys haven't seen the clip, Sketch threw a lighter in the fire because he didn't know
He's
what
a
would
funny
happen.
guy. I like him.
Here's the thing. The whole thing, looking back at it now, is funny because everyone's safe and it didn't cause a fire. And it's just that he didn't know. It was an honest mistake. He thought that it was empty and that it would melt in the fire. Like he was just like, "Oh, just throw this in the fire." But it was a lighter and it had gasoline in it.
Yeah, and it created a little
bomb. It had lighter fluid in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it exploded in their face. Clip, I will admit, is hilarious. Like the timing of the clip was so funny. It was like insane. I'm just glad that they're okay and glad nothing actually dangerous happened there. But yeah, so then I was like, I said that I would come set up the tent. And then they're like, "No, we're just going to go home anyway. We're going to go to Sketches anyway." And I was like, "All right, never mind." So then they went to Walmart. I'm like keeping an eye on their stream, sort of. They have, you know what's crazy about them is like being a male streamer, or maybe it's just them. The difference in like interacting with viewers on IRL streams as a dude is crazy.
In what way?
Like they're just not scared of anything or anyone. They met a guy the next day. He drove to stream snipe them to fish with them. And they brought him back to Sketch's house.
That's crazy.
And like he was fine. Like, I don't know. I shook his hand. I barely talked to him. He didn't really say much. He was just like sitting there the whole time. But I was like, guys.
No, that's crazy. That's too much.
This is crazy.
I didn't know they did that.
Crazy. Yeah. So I'm like watching them at the store, whatever. They're just like the way that they interact with people, even IRL, is so different than I could ever. I don't know. And then like they're just not scared of anybody, which I am, and it's just bizarre. And then they got back. I'm like arts and crafting. It's like 10 p.m. or whatever. Lacey's like, "You want to come now?" And I was like, no.
Like,
no, not anymore. So I said I'd come the next day. They didn't have anything to do the next day. They're like kind of going in and out of being miserable because they're outside and they hate their communities and like they're so mad all the time. They like commit to like these awful streams that they don't want to do, and then they don't want to do them, and then their community is like, you're scamming, and then they get so mad, and then it makes it harder to do the streams.
Yeah.
So I created all these activities. You'd be very proud of me. I was like, yes. I was like, we're gonna do like a weapon making competition, and I got apples, and it was gonna be.
You did all of this?
Yeah, and I was like, they have to whittle a stick, and they have to catch it on an apple, and the first one to catch an apple on their weapon has the sharpest one and wins. I was gonna have them do like a rock skipping competition. I went to the grocery store. I got a bunch of stuff so they could make me like a campfire hack food like on the fire, and then I got them like flint and steel and like other stuff to make a fire without a lighter.
That's
and
so nice
it was gonna
of
be like
you.
first person to make. I know.
Yeah, that's very
first person to make a fire. Yes, I know. That's why I said you'd be so proud of me. So I'm like running around in the morning getting all this stuff, right? I bought it all. It's in my car. Like I bought all the stuff. And then I'm on my way to, which by the way, I was supposed to go earlier. I had to pause and like go do other errands to kill time because I clicked into stream and they're fishing. And Lacey was like, Maya will come help us fish. And I was like, I'm vegetarian.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not fishing.
I was like, I'm not, I don't know why you think I'm going to fish. Like, I'm not fishing. And so then I had to wait for them to finish fishing. And then I got all this stuff and then I'm ready to go over there. I opened the stream to do a vibe check, just because I'm like on my way. So I was like, what are the vibes? Vibes are so bad.
Why?
Like, they're so mad.
What?
I don't even know what happened. I think like Ron's like always mad at his chat. It seems like he was just like so annoyed with them. They were just like saying dumb things, like had dumb ideas. And then Cinna called and like kind of riled him up. Not like on purpose, but like, she was like, so you guys are scamming? She's like, you guys are bailing out on your 48-hour marathon. Like a bunch of LA boys can't handle the outdoor, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Lacey's chat starts like shitting on Lacey. And then he got really mad. Like I think he was actually mad. So I click into stream and they're like, we're just going to end if you guys are going to act like they go in emote only. They're like, I'm deleting the comm.
Oh, like my drama. Okay.
Yeah, it was drama. So I literally pull over. I'm not gonna show up in the middle of all this. Like I literally pulled over.
Dude, you are smarter than me.
There.
You know why it's good to do the vibe check is because
you just show up.
Well, that's little me during the subathon. I make them all pajamas and I make them all snack bags and I show up to the FaZe house and I drop them off. Unbeknownst to me, Ron was like in the middle of like physically fighting someone. He was so mad at somebody. And I walk in the house and I'm like, I got him pajamas. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I did vibe check.
Yeah, smart.
And the vibes were bad. And so I pulled over. I'm kind of just like watching stream, like on my phone, waiting, whatever. And then they're like talking about ending stream. And I was like, I look in my back seat. I'm sad. I was like, oh, okay. So I text Lacey and I was like, what's happening? And he just said, we're leaving. Nothing else.
Did you tell him you got all the stuff?
No.
Oh, you bad comms. Comms.
Well, and then I said, should I, and then they were going to sketches. So I was like, should I come or should I just turn around? And then he said he was sorry because he didn't realize that like I was on my way or something. But then I don't know where Sketch lives and I can't tell if they're leaving and they keep going back and forth about whether they're leaving. And I don't want to, I'm like parked on the side of the road. I don't want to go either direction because I don't know which direction I'm supposed to go in.
Yeah.
So then I text Cinna because I heard Cinna was supposed to hang out with them. And I was like, Cinna, what the hell do I do right now? Like, where am I supposed to go? Which, north or south? Like, tell me where to go. And Cinna was like, oh my God, I didn't know you were supposed to go. I don't know what's going on either. Like, I bought a bunch of lanterns. I'm like dressed in camping gear. She's also like supposed to go camping. So she was like, just come over to my house and we'll stream and like decide what we're doing. So I went to Cinna's house. We streamed at Cinna's house. called them. They go to Sketch's house. We're on the phone. We find out that they bring Stream Sniper to Sketch's house. I was like, pause. Has he pinky promised anybody that he's
not gonna murder you? Yeah.
Like, you gave him Sketch's address? Was that a good idea? I don't know. So I was kind of scared of Logan.
Sorry, Logan.
I mean, he was fine. And then, you know, he pinky promised that he wasn't gonna do anything weird, but I did pack duct tape. We brought a taser, we brought pepper spray, and I brought a water gun. And then we drove to Sketch's, and then they had a bunch of ideas that they were all ideas. They're like, we'll do a cooking competition. We'll go to the gun range. But they like weren't, we didn't,
nothing,
you know, we
was
didn't
set
have
up.
any stuff.
Yeah.
So I started pushing for basketball because, you know, me and basketball. I love a little basketball.
Wait, so why didn't you push to like do any of the stuff you brought?
I didn't bring it.
Oh, you left it at Cinna's?
Yeah, because it was all like camping stuff.
Okay.
Like it was just like a different, we were just going to Sketch's house at that point. Like the dream was dead.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And Ron kept saying, he was like, we'll go back to the campsite. Freaking over an hour away. And they just drove from there to Sketch's. And I was like, what is wrong with you guys? What do you mean? Like, we're not doing that. So we kind of just like sat for a while while everyone was like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? I had a really interesting experience. It's just a totally different community that I just don't know how to, I don't know how to interact with, you know?
Okay.
And it's like not the same as what we like grew up with on Twitch, or what I grew up with on Twitch. Like from the start of my career, I mean, not that like I was a child. You know how all I do is a straight man. It's all I do.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. And it's not really a bit. It's just who I am.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
Yeah, like
so then everyone thinks you're a bitch.
Sure, yeah. Except in the past, whenever I interact with streamers, like my thing is just that I'm like really uncomfortable, you know? Or that I'm really like nervous and like I look sad. That's just what my face looks like. And like I just don't give very much, and I'm not crazy kooky, and I'm just like a normal person. And that's always how I've interacted with streamers. And it's always been, people have always thought that it was funny. Like it's always, the contrast has always been a good thing, you know? And like people have liked that, and it's worked. Like the dynamic has worked, which is very lucky because again, it's all I got. Like it's not, it's not really intentional. That's just like how I am. So it's been really easy. It didn't really work.
Oh no.
When I was on Ron and Lacey in Sketch's stream, they thought that, and maybe I'm being dramatic, it probably wasn't that bad, but like I think most people saw that and thought that I like wasn't having fun, and that I was being a bitch, and that I was like uncomfortable, and that I was like killing the vibe.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, whoopsie. Which like I mean I get it, you know, like I get why you would think that, because that is what it looks like. That's the whole bit. I've just never had it not go over well before. Like I've just never had it be a problem before. So it was interesting and kind of scary. And then once that starts happening, like you know how like, you know when you're on a stream in your head, and then like
and you're like,
and you get
God.
in your head, you see like a couple people saying it, and then you're like in your head about it, and then you can't get out of it, and then it becomes worse, and then you don't want to be there even more, and
that
then
was
it seems
me on
like you don't want to be there even
stream
more.
That one time.
Yeah,
I told this story on stream when I was like on Peach's stream, and I was like, hey, I'm not like, I get it. And then it was like, the chat starts like being like, oh, she's a buzzkill. And you're like, I am a buzzkill. I suck.
Yeah. I don't know how bad it was. It's really hard to tell, especially it's hard to tell as the streamer, you know, because as the streamer, you're like, you get one guide all the time. It's hard to, I might be over exaggerating. And it's really hard to tell as the streamer, because when you're the streamer, you're getting one guide all the time, right? So like, you see like one thing and you're like, everybody thinks that about me. So I don't know, maybe it wasn't that serious and maybe I'm making it worse. I know it's not that big of a deal. Like it's whatever. It was just interesting. And like something I was thinking about that day and like the following day. I was like, like what was different, you know? But Yeah, so that was interesting. But then we went to play basketball, and I think basketball helped a lot because I like could move around, you know?
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
could be
And have
more
fun
just like
and be
silly and
goofy.
goofy and like have fun and yeah. So that was good. And then we went back, and they like made us food or whatever, and it was chill. It's just I don't know. I definitely don't, and this is like because it's me. I just like don't fit in.
Yeah.
To like that crowd, which is not surprising. Like obviously I don't. But it was an interesting day to be on stream. But I had fun overall. And then afterwards my friends were going downtown. And so I was like, you guys can come if you want. And they said that we're too close to a college town. They're like, oh, like we're really close to a college town. Like we're just going to get stopped a bunch. And I was like, and I didn't say this to them, but in my head I was like, okay, egos, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be able to walk through the street. Like too famous. And so they decided to come out with us. And I have you been out with them?
No.
Dude, I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, I've seen like they can't go to like Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We went out and I was with Sketch too. So like, and Sketch is huge.
Yeah.
We went out to this bar. At first it was chill. And then it's kind of like TwitchCon where people start taking pictures with you and then it's like a mob, you know?
Yeah.
So then like everyone starts surrounding. And I told them, like, I felt so bad. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't
You're
know
like,
it
I
was
really
gonna
didn't
be
think you were
this.
that
Like, this
famous.
is, yeah, I
My
didn't.
bad.
I really didn't think you were that famous. I thought you were like, didn't know you're hot shit. And we had to like keep moving because they were college people and they were posting it on their Snapchat. So then like people were coming to the bar.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had to like my friend Diddy Sauce. We can't just call him Diddy anymore.
Yeah, you can't call him Diddy anymore.
He's like 7 feet tall. He had to like usher. Like he had to like get in there with Sketch and like move people a little bit to like get him to walk out. I've never seen anything like it, dude. It was crazy. And then we had to.
It must suck for Sketch too because he has like the catch line. So there's probably just people being like, "What's up, brother?"
Oh, every single one. Single one. And he says it back to all of them. He's so sweet.
Yeah.
But even Sketch, he freaking need to put a hat on and took off his glasses. And they still were like,
still recognize him. That's funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. I told Lacey, I was like, why did you dye your hair red? Why?
Yeah, it makes
Like,
you way more recognizable.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it was a lot. And then we ended up at a bar that was like not on Dirty Six that had a table. So we were literally behind a curtain.
Oh,
and
that's
then
nice.
and people were still coming in.
Wow.
They're like peeking through the curtain and they were like, Sketch.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy, dude.
That
is
is
crazy.
so crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. I had to pee at a bar and it was sardines at the bar, like packed. And Sketch had to pee. So we're like maneuvering through all these sardines to get to the bathroom. And apparently people were like waiting for him outside the bathroom.
Dude.
Which is also crazy. He's so famous.
Sketch is famous.
He's famous. I love Sketch. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's very funny.
He drinks, you know his drink of choice is?
Isn't it Red
you
Bull
guess?
vodka?
No, well, he did drink Red Bull tequila at Streamer Awards.
Oh, what is it?
But no, like at home, you sit on the couch, you get cozy, you kick back with a glass of Bailey's.
Bailey's? Ew.
Bailey's caramel syrup on the inside of a wine glass, ice, straight Bailey's. Just straight.
That's
Bailey's.
bad.
I thought it was so funny. I'm happy for him. I think that's great.
I think that's so
And hey,
bad for your tummy.
It's 17%.
Yeah, okay.
That's a lot. It's
It is a lot.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my that was my weekend. Our producer just asked what's wrong with Bailey's. There is nothing wrong with Bailey's. It's just that Bailey's is usually like a mixer. Like you put it in like a White Russian or in like an espresso martini or something, you know. No one, I don't think people just drink straight Bailey's.
I guess
guess
they do.
At Sketch's house.
You did? You had a custom drink?
I had a glass of Bailey's and some Fritos bean dip and wasabi peas. Wow. It was delicious.
I do like Fritos and bean dip.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good.
It's kind of like
get some from the 7-Eleven.
Speaking of like scam communities, did you see Erobb?
Yes.
We've got to talk about electronic Robert.
Can I say something?
Uh-huh.
I haven't watched any of it, so this is probably unfair. But like every time I click in and it looks, I'm actually getting pissed off. And I don't mean to be like an Erobb community member, but it's kind of pissing me off. Like, why is it taking so long?
Well, because it's an all black puzzle. Okay.
Yeah.
And I click and I love puzzles. I say, oh, genius. How smart of him. He starts doing it. He does the edges. He starts doing some middles. I'm like, oh, he's making progress, blah, blah. Check back in. He's tearing it apart. I go, it's been a day and a half. What happened? On the back of this all black puzzle are secret like coordinates of how to put it together. And his community caught him because all of a sudden he got faster at it. And so they're like, scam, 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 scam. So then he takes the puzzle apart, individually with a black marker, colors the back of each puzzle piece, and starts over.
Okay, even with that setback, I don't feel like it should take this long.
Well, I mean, I think he's really bad at puzzles too. Like, I don't think that's an argument. But the funny thing is I'll never understand the Erobb community because they like hate him, but they love him. I don't, whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
So someone decided to view bot him during this puzzle thing.
I saw that. I was like, wow, he's at 100K. People love this puzzle.
Yeah. So Erobb's at 107,000 people watching him do this puzzle poorly. But Lizzo, the singer and performer, Lizzo, is she streams for the first time yesterday and is clicking around and she sees this guy with 107,000 views and she goes, who's this guy? She goes to Erobb's stream and she goes, ooh, he's scary. And then his chat's like, what? And she's like chat, he has like a scary face.
Oh, I did not see that.
So Erobb got dissed by Lizzo. And he's bad at puzzles.
So funny.
Yeah.
What is going on with... Because Pirate Software got view-botted too the other day, huh? That's like a thing that's happening.
Yeah, which I don't understand why haters are view-botting. So they're spending their own money to buy these view bots.
Yeah.
And for what?
I don't know.
Because I would like you guys to know, as soon as a streamer knows they're being view botted, we just send a message to our partner and we say, hey, someone's view botting me, and you don't get banned.
Yeah, it said they think it gets them banned.
Right, yeah, it just doesn't. Like you don't get banned for that.
Weird.
So you're just spending your money, and I don't think that's cheap. I know this because I
have no idea.
Well, I know because
where do you buy them?
Well, at one point I wanted to do. Sometimes you know me. I wanted to view bot. No, I wanted to do this video. I had this grand idea of doing this video where I get 3 different Instagram accounts, one at 0, because one at 0, like brand new Instagram account, one at 0, one at like 50,000 followers, and one at like 200,000 followers, and post like AI images for 30 days and see which one grows the most. With they're all getting posted the same images to see how much the amount of followers affects growth type thing. I wanted to make a YouTube video about it and I was going to be all scientific and blah, 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 blah. And so I was excited because sometimes I get excited and I think I'm a different YouTuber than I am. I'd like to make it clear. I am not that YouTuber. I was strive to be that
really
YouTuber.
Sound like a Cutie Cinderella video, but
but wouldn't have been cool? It would have been like, wow, cutie. What an interesting. Yeah. Anyway, you can have it, CoffeeZilla. So anyway, I go to buy these Instagram accounts and I'm like Googling I can't find a credible place to buy these Instagram accounts. And I'm like, okay, actually this is pretty sketch. Like I don't know about any of this. But on some of these things, it was like you could also buy view bots. And the pricing was absurd. I was like, who does this as a prank?
For Instagram followers?
Yeah, for no, not to buy followers, to buy an Instagram account.
To buy an Instagram account.
Because sometimes people
How much were they?
Well, it was like $2,000, $3,000. And so then I find this website that had like it was like a 50K following account for like $100. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. Scammed.
You didn't get it?
I didn't get it. And then my dream died of making the YouTube video. But it just seems crazy, right?
Yeah, that is crazy. That doesn't make any sense. There's a difference between bots that chat and bots that increase view counts. The first is a lot more expensive.
Oh, how do you know?
It'd be cool if we had someone. Ooh.
Nico bots his viewership.
He bought your production guy.
Wait,
like who? Just increasing view count could be as simple as embedding a stream on another popular website. Well, how do you get it in the website? You have to have that website. It doesn't have to be yours. I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't know. All I know is that couldn't 100,000 view bots could not have been cheap, no matter what. Right. I would imagine. Number 2, Maya, I haven't said I'm sorry for your loss. Got banned in Texas.
Dude, so long ago. Why are you saying that now?
I thought it was new.
That's so funny.
What?
No, it's been, dude, Pornhub's been gone.
Oh, apparently it's back.
It just came back up with the TikTok ban, but it's been gone. But thank you for saying that.
Oh, how long has it been gone?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe like a year. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, well,
2 years or so, maybe 3.
Seems like it hasn't really affected you as much as I thought, I guess.
No, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, TikTok, we did lose TikTok. It was devastating or whatever.
Was it? Were you sad? You deleted it off your phone, right?
No, I never did actually. I talked a big game and I didn't change anything.
Okay.
But no, I think I was honestly surprised that it got banned at all. Like I was like, this is just like they're just talking about it because they've talked about it before. So I didn't think that it would actually happen. And then I was with Ron and them when like Ron is the first one who saw it and he got the message on his phone while we were live and he's like, oh my God. And then they were like, our careers are over.
They're dramatic.
But then even then Ron was like, do you think that they'll bring it back? And I was like, yes.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
I think they should have waited a little longer to bring it back. I think that's a pretty common opinion though.
Do you think it was just propaganda? Because I feel like it was just propaganda.
It's a big question. It's just,
I mean, because if it was, it's the fact that it was like, maybe Trump will do something. And then the next day it was like, thank you, President Trump. Like, what is happening?
Them naming him as opposed to just like saying the U.S. government or saying like a policy or a law, like naming a law or a policy is bizarre. Like, yeah,
so weird.
That is definitely weird. And yeah, it looks pretty sus and weird. I don't know. I'm scared to talk about it, but it is it's quite a layup.
Yeah.
Like, I think at least on my side of the internet, people are seeing through it and they're like, this is embarrassing. Like, this is an embarrassingly bad way to get people to like you. Like, a lot of people are saying that where I am on the internet. But then there's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, Trump did something good.
Yeah, he saved us.
Yeah, I don't know. But there was also talk about like Elon Musk buying it and talk about Mr. Beast buying it. And Kai said he was going to buy it and he didn't.
Well, maybe he still will. I would like Kai to buy it.
Yeah, that'd be sick. They go crazy.
I'm not on TikTok. I can't be on it. It's bad for me. But you said that a lot of people were like confessing.
Dude, it's kind of freaking me out. Okay, so people, they use this sound, and it was like, what is it, a Family Guy sound? It doesn't matter what the sound is. It's just like, because this is the last time we're going to talk to each other. I have something to tell you. And then they say something about their content. So like there's this girl who was like, she's massive on TikTok. And she got really big from making these coffee videos where she would like go get a coffee and take a sip and then be really happy. And so she made this TikTok and she was like, I didn't even like coffee. And everyone was like, my worldview is shattered. Like, okay. So, and then she had to backpedal a little bit. And she was like, guys, like, but I just only used to like chai, but now I like coffee. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know why everyone's so upset. And then there was another girl that like makes these fruit ice cubes. And she was like, I don't even use these ice cubes. Like, and then everyone freaked out and they were like, what do you mean you don't use the ice cubes? Like you wasted all the ice cubes. And she was like, no, like I gave my family use them. I just don't like ice in my drinks. But then people were like, what do you mean you don't like ice in your drinks? And then there are other people that have come out and they were like, this one girl that does mukbangs, she was like, I don't finish all of this food. Like I don't actually eat all the food that you see me eating on camera. People are blocking her. Like, they're pissed. And what scared me about it is maybe as a creator or as someone on the other side, I hate to tell you guys, not everything is as it looks all the time. Like, I was just like, none of that's serious.
Yeah.
People are so mad. And they're like, this is why I don't trust creators. Like, why do you guys follow creators anyway? This is why I have trust issues. Blocked. Like, and now they're saying that they have to come crawling back, even though they just like confessed all of their secrets. And now they're back on TikTok and they have to like build the trust back up or something.
What's the only thing that okay, what would it be? It would be like, you don't actually like animals.
Well, okay,
I don't actually like Taylor
different.
Swift.
That's different. Maybe. I guess.
I don't get it.
And I guess people would be like, that's weird then. Like, why even? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I get if people really enjoyed that content and like want to, I don't know. I just don't know why you would actually
until they
care.
figure out that Margot Robbie isn't actually Barbie.
Ooh.
They're going to be upset. I mean, I guess I get it if they think like, okay, it's different if it's like Taylor Swift. Like if I said I didn't like Taylor Swift, but then I talk about Taylor Swift all the time, that'd be weird. But if you're just like, I don't like ice, but you make ice all the time. I don't like baked goods, really. I don't eat them myself.
Are you guys, that's your one. That's the one I think that is most aligned.
But people know
also,
that.
Charlie D'Amelio, she, something happened. I don't even know what happened. She got caught or like by paparazzi or something. She was smoking a pen. And somehow somebody on her team or something said it was an anxiety pen. What the hell is that? I don't think that exists.
Like a CBD pen.
I don't know what an anxiety pen is. Okay, sure.
They used to have those. They used to also have lavender oil pens.
Well, she was saying that it wasn't an anxiety pen, but that's what they said at the time because like she's Charlie D'Amelio, whatever. And so hers that she made was that it wasn't an anxiety pen. And the comments are like, I defended you. They're like, I told everybody that it was an anxiety pen.
Oops.
Which I think most of those, I think they're joking. Like, I think they think that's funny. But with like the mukbang girl especially, I think she did like, maybe I'm spreading misinformation. I think she was pretty, like, she tried to make videos proving that she ate everything. So then it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So that's happened on TikTok, but TikTok is back. Whatever. I did watch Instagram Reels for one night. I checked it out. I was like, maybe this is my new life. Controversial opinion. Fine. Felt the exact same to me. Did the exact same thing for me that TikTok does. I couldn't care less between the two. They felt the same. My For You page is very similar. All arts
Really?
and crafts, all animals, all cooking.
Oh, my For You
It's
page
just-
on Instagram is weird.
How?
It's like a lot of like, send this to someone you
Give
want.
me a 5 scroll.
How do I do this?
Let's see what she's got. You can screen record it.
Okay. Okay.
Audio listeners, you're about to miss some porn.
No, surely
She's got
not.
porn on her For You page.
How do I go to my For You page? It says, Jesus is being mocked more than ever. Sabrina Carpenter's unholy dancing. This is why I created Christian plushies to praise the Lord.
Oh my god.
I'll turn off the sound. But yeah, that's my first one. So
Wow. That's crazy.
can't really see it. I'll send the video to Fusion. Okay. So Jesus 1 next. It's someone saying they want their cat that's in the fire.
Aww.
You can't say that word. Oh, yeah? If words weren't meant to be said, then why were they created? Check me. You can't say that word.
Oh, this one's nice. It's Lily and Pokey and Ludwig dancing.
Oh no. Wait, I like that one. I've seen that reel.
You're not going to like this one.
Why?
I think it's good that I stop.
Dude.
Audio listeners, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do to explain what we just went through.
Should we compare?
I mean, it's pretty good.
That was pretty. I don't think that was good.
Oh,
All right, let's see. Number 1. Oh no. Oh no.
what was it?
It says maturing is realizing there's nothing wrong with being harmlessly weird, and it's a furry running on all fours.
See, that's what I thought. It's not like,
Wait, I swear yesterday. I swear I had a good experience yesterday. Before and after hiking for 5 months. And it's just them like dirty after hiking. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay, fine. Hands-free shoes make going through airport security a breeze.
hands-free shoes? What does that mean?
It's just shoes that you step in.
Oh, okay. Great.
Handy. Here's a little hat going on a cat in the bathtub.
That's nice.
I
I
like that.
Yeah.
All right, one
Yeah,
more.
that's easy.
POV, it's your 70th birthday. Your husband is on purse duty and the band is playing all your favorite hits. Wholesome.
Oh, wow. That's an old woman twerking.
It was nice, I think.
Okay. See, it's a little different than TikTok, I would say.
I like a little, but not a lot.
Mine TikTok is nothing like that. On this week's episode of I watched this documentary, so you don't have to unless you should. I watched the Jerry Springer documentary.
What has Jerry Springer done? I thought
You
is
don't
that
know
the
what Jerry
Seinfeld guy?
Springer is? What?
The guy on
that's
Seinfeld?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Then no, I don't. Then I don't know who Jerry Springer
Okay.
is.
So you know how like podcasts, like they'll give anyone a podcast these
His last
days?
name is Seinfeld for real.
Yeah.
He made the show after himself and he named it Seinfeld.
Well, he was a comedian first, yeah.
Oh. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Okay. So back in like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, like everybody had a freaking talk show. Everybody. It was like daytime television. It was
talk show. Oh,
talk show. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's my bad. I feel bad. I thought you were talking about like drugs. I thought it was like slang for a drug.
No, sometimes I slur and I think it's because I'm having a stroke.
You're not having a stroke. You're not having a
Okay.
stroke. You're not having a stroke.
Anyway, everybody had a talk show, and Oprah's was like the most popular, right? So Jerry Springer,
You get a car. You get a car.
yeah, Jerry Springer was this white man's from Chicago that was actually a part of the government.
Jerry Springer.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, don't Google him.
Well, I want to see what he looks like.
Okay, you may Google him.
I'd recognize this man.
Okay, great.
I would recognize him in a police lineup. I would not know his name though. But I would say that guy's famous.
He's dead now.
Damn.
He died a few years ago.
Sad.
Yeah, but so you wouldn't need to do that.
Okay.
But all this to say, so he gets a talk show, and he used to be in politics. So he was on like the city council or something like that. Record. I said on the record. I said or something like that to our fact checkers out there. You little bitches. So he was a part of politics. He gets this talk show, and everyone's like, "Why? This is boring." Right? Like he would just bring people on, do the normal talk show thing, like yada yada yada. And then this producer comes on for the show. They move him from daytime to his show is airing at 1 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. Okay. And they're like, okay, this guy, like this show blows. The ratings are bad. Back then, if your show was not getting 2 million viewers, isn't that crazy? If it was not getting 2 million viewers, it was bad. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
What happened to the entertainment industry?
TV, we all stopped paying for cable.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, now we're all, like, they were all on the same service, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
everyone has,
was in the same place.
we all had the same channels, unless you like bought the extra ones, but like, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So he's doing bad. So he's under the 2 mil. So this new producer comes on, joins the team, and they're like, if they're playing you at 1 in the morning, let's give them 1 in the morning content, right? So they bring on this porn star who says that she has to be nude, right? And so she goes on the website, the TV show, and they're interviewing her the whole time, and they're censoring her nudity. Like, and she's like, yeah, I'm just a nudist, like, da 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 da. And they essentially, their way of getting people on this show is a phone number where they call in, they talk to a producer vets them, brings them out. Okay. So a lot of it is like, oh, I found out that my sister, like some of the titles of these shows are crazy, and they had actual people doing this. To this day, it is like undiscernible. Some of the shows, of course, people were in bad faith and they just wanted their 5 minutes of fame. But other shows, like this was real shit. Like my sister stole my husband.
Sure.
And you have all three of them on the show. And listen.
Wait, is he the one that says you're not the father?
Yeah.
Oh.
He did that sometimes too.
Okay.
But like,
wait,
what?
Who is Maury? Is he Maury?
No. Maury is a copycat to him.
Oh, drama.
Yeah. So that was Maury's main thing, was you are not the father. But Maury came. Wait a second. I'm fact checking.
We're spreading this information.
Wait, Maury
Jerry Springer copied Maury.
Yeah. Jerry Springer. Oh, wait. They both started in 1991. Who came first? Let's see. What came first? Jerry Springer or Maury? Jerry Springer's show began around the same time as Maury's.
Wow.
I guess it's just a coincidence. I guess they just...
They both said you are not the father.
Well, that was like Maury's main thing, for the record.
Yeah.
Like Maury's main thing is like, was the paternity test. Only every once in a while would Jerry Springer do that. But that was Maury's main thing. Jerry Springer thing was more they wanted people to get in like fights.
What?
Like literally they would encourage people like, you tell him how much of a piece of scum he is, or what a slut she is, that she's sleeping with your husband, and da. Like the producers would like egg them on, because then they'd go on the show and they would get in fights. Yeah.
So it's like Dr. Phil, but like at night.
Yeah. But then it starts doing so well that it gets moved to daytime. because people are like watching it and they're like, I can't believe this. Like, let me find some of the show titles from Jerry Springer.
How did he die?
Well, he died from like pancreatic cancer, I believe.
Was he well loved by the public when he died, or were people like, no, this guy sucks?
I think people were starting to think this guy sucks, because he even went on an interview towards like, because his show went from 1991 until 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, but he went on and he admitted that like, that he apologized in this interview for everything he's ever done on TV.
Oh,
which is crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Just do a ton of crazy stuff and make a ton of money, but then at the end just say sorry for all of it. And then be
well, at the time, like a lot of people would ask him, and you know, it seems like one of those things that he got swept up into, like the fame and everything just kind of came with it, and he kind of sold his soul for it. And he even kind of
sauce a little bit.
Yeah, he even kind of said that, like, that it just kind of got away from him, and then all of a sudden he's making trash on TV, and it was the first shock value TV like ever. Like, it, you know, people were watching it because they would hear through the grapevine about, could you believe like this fight broke out between so and so, and like, you know, that's kind of a bad thing to be the father of. But one of the bigger stories that, and I will say most of this segment of, I watched this documentary, so you don't have to, unless you should. You don't need to. You don't need to watch it. I think it could have been better. It could have been more interesting to capitalize off of how interesting that show was, because my mom watched Jerry Springer. My mom watched Maury. My mom watched Judge Judy. Like, that was her shit. So I grew up with those in the background, like at all times. But I never realized, like growing up in the 90s, what this show actually was until watching this documentary and realizing how bad it was. At one point, they had a show where this man came in and he said, I left my wife and 2 daughters for a Shetland pony. And
did he really?
Yes.
Did he hurt the pony?
What do you mean?
Was he beast?
Yes.
Pony?
Yeah.
Did he go to jail?
No.
Why?
I don't know. So they bring this man on. He calls in, tells them that. They're like, there's no way that's true. And then they're like, yeah, it's true. And then they're like, okay, come on the show. So they bring him on the show. The guy comes out by himself, and he first is saying, yeah, I left my wife, you know, for a new woman. And then they bring out the new woman. It's the pony. He had married the pony 10 years ago. And so then they asked him about his relationship with the pony, and he said he'd never had anyone look at him the way the pony looked at him. And that's why he had to marry the pony and leave his wife, which is clearly mental illness. I would like to make that very clear. And so it's like platforming that, which is really bad. And then he makes out with the pony on stage, which is pretty bad. And then he talks about his love life with the pony, which is bad. These are all bad things. So bad that it first played in New York and then got pulled from all other, like it got pulled off the air, right? So the problem with the shock value is then people start murmuring, you can't miss the show, you got to watch the show more, right? So if anything, it's like marketing insanity at the time. I do think on the bright side, people have worn down from shock value. Like, I don't, like, if I hear that a kick streamer, you know, beat up a at the Walmart on stream, I'm just like, whoa, man, like I am not interested. And so that's exciting. But maybe that's just me. Maybe shock value still works. I don't know. I'm sure in some capacity, because I'm sure even this sentence, me saying that, people are going to look up that episode and be like, what? Because it's like watching a car crash, right? So it's like interesting.
Yeah, people are weird like that.
Well, and the producer that they're interviewing during the show acknowledges, he's like, yes, like we were platforming these people, but we weren't like, you know, we didn't create these people. And it's like, well, But there's some guy at home that's been teetering with the fact that maybe he shouldn't fuck his pony, and then he saw that guy fuck his pony, and he's like, I'm gonna do it too. Like, I don't know. It's just like a weird
it also
thing.
just like when you have someone that's that ill, like the attention, the spotlight, the notoriety, the people talk, like it doesn't help. That'll never help.
No, and that's the difference between like Dr. Phil is you go on Dr. Phil and he's a quote unquote doctor and he tries to give you advice or whatever and work through it. Jerry Springer, you'd go on to a microphone pretty much. There would be no advice. There would be no. They had an episode where they just
came out swinging. They were like, and here he is, and then the guy came out and he's like, you.
Well, no, they would like pull him in and they'd be like, tell us about your wife, and he would just talk, and then he brings out the pony and the pony and him make out, and then he talks some more about meeting the pony. And like Jerry Seinfeld would be like, you're weird for this, you know that, right? And he was like, yeah, but nothing can stop pure love.
Jerry Seinfeld? Jerry Springer?
Oh, Jerry Springer, sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Jerry Seinfeld would come out and be like the voice of reason. He'd be like, guys,
no, sorry.
Leave the pony alone.
They had an episode where they
also
had members of the KK on it, and which the whole audience was yelling. There was like 5
in the
members
90s?
And they were in like their outfits, like their the garb, and all of the audience members are like yelling at these people, telling them that they're stupid and they're horrible people and yada yada. And even Jerry Springer is like, you guys, you realize that we all think you're idiots. Like he would say that. But still, you're giving these people a platform. Like this guy has a microphone in front of millions of people and he's yelling things that I don't think should be yelled, like Kooky Cabana.
Wow. Where are all of these? Are they on Netflix? All your documentaries?
Yeah, usually.
Netflix is really becoming a documentary hub, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes I go to Amazon Prime and stuff like that, but Netflix is.
Have you seen Severance?
Yes.
I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday. It's on Apple TV. It's about like what is it about? Like people that decide to separate their work and personal life completely. Like you have no memory of your work life and your work self has no memory of your personal life.
Yeah.
So you just like go in and out of it, but then it gets really, I don't know. I'll watch the whole thing and I'll get back to you guys.
Okay, you get back to us because I'm caught up on season 1. That's everyone's assignment. Go watch that. But
did you
I have to
like
finish.
It?
Yeah, I liked it. But I'm on season 2 right now. No. So it all comes to a head, and that's why you don't need to watch the documentary. Because it's only 2 episode documentary. They could have just done an hour and a half. It's 2 like 45-minute episodes. There's not enough of like no one takes accountability for these things, which I think is interesting. They also, I don't think they did a good job at like checking in with people that have been on the show and being like, how did this affect you? So that was kind of weird.
Sure. Yeah.
But it comes to a head because at one point there was a love triangle that went on. So a husband and a woman and his wife and
Jerry
Springer. Yeah. So there's this guy, I forget his name, and then 2 women, and they were both sleeping with the guy. And so the 3 of them go on the show.
With Jerry?
No. They're on the show.
Okay.
So there's a guy and 2 women, that love triangle. Got it?
Yeah.
So they all come out on stage. The guy goes out, he kisses the one girl, goes over to the other girl, kisses her too. And he's like, yeah, I'm sleeping with both of them, but I actually don't like you anymore. I'm staying with her. His name was Alf, and one woman's name was Nancy, and the other woman's name was Eleanor. And he's like, fuck you, Nancy. And Nancy's like, we literally had sex last night. And he's like, well, I married Eleanor last week. And Eleanor's like, yeah. And it's like, that's crazy. So they like stay together. Long story short, Nance leaves the stage because she's like, I don't want to be subjugated to this. And then the producers say, if you leave, we won't pay you your full amount. Like we won't pay for your ticket home. And she goes, that's fine. I'm leaving. So she leaves, can't get home. She ends up walking around Chicago in the cold, crying. Somebody buys her bus ticket. She gets a bus ticket, goes all the way back to Florida, and is just so sad and swears off Alf. And long story short, they end up getting like back together. And this love this love triangle keeps happening. I know. And then she gets a divorce with him. She's like, never mind. Like Nance is like, screw Alf. Alf gets drunk, goes to a bar. At the bar happens to be the day that they are premiering that Springer episode. He is in the bar drinking, watching himself on Jerry Springer.
TV. Yeah.
Is so angry, goes to Nance's house and kills her.
Okay, they got married and then divorced, and then they were like fighting, and then they premiered the episode, and it like reminded him.
Yeah, but he was still with the other woman too, like in some capacity. Like, I don't know. It sounds like a really messy situation, but that's what happens when you platform these messy situations and also don't help anybody. Like the fact that like I don't know. I feel like you should at least hook them up with therapists. Am I crazy? Like, Cookie.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, horrible.
That's really sad.
So that's why you don't need to watch the documentary. Is there's absolutely no closure and there's nobody who takes accountability. And it ends with one producer saying that he quit because he got a call one day from this woman that said, "Hey, I am a prostitute and I work on a website and we get ordered to people's houses or whatever. And, you know, our madam makes us go or our pimp makes us go. And my own father keeps ordering me to his house. And I want to come on the show and confront him or whatever. Cause like, we just never talk about it. I just have to go and do it, you know? And so the producer's like, okay. So he sets him up and he puts one in one hotel under an alias, one in the other hotel under an alias. And he goes and he checks, like the morning of to go wake him up. He knocks on the door. A man answers her hotel room. It's her own father in a towel and they had just had sex. And so he said he quit that day because he was like, why am I doing this? Because he thought maybe she would confront him and it would stop. But in reality, they're just like having. The only interesting point that producer made, which was really interesting, is he said, if it wasn't for the Jerry Springer show, there wouldn't be a Jerry Springer documentary. And the only reason there's a Jerry Springer documentary is because of episodes like the one with the horse, like the one with the one that caused a murder, like the one like this. And he was like, and maybe the American society should reflect on why that's interesting. And it was like,
yeah, like why it's a problem to do stuff like that. There will be interesting documentaries that come out of the Netflix reality TV era for sure.
Oh, yeah. I am ready for the Love Island documentary.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's really dark. I mean, people do like watching people that are really unwell.
Yeah.
Streamers. Hey, you know.
But that was this week's segment of I watched a documentary, so you don't have to unless you should, and you don't need to. It was interesting, but not enough.
And you guys can start watching Severance, and I'll finish watching Severance, and we can all talk about it.
Yippee! Well, we're gonna head to the Patreon.
We're gonna go over to the Patreon. We're gonna talk a bunch of shit.
Okay, bye.
Over there. Bye.
Dylan O'Brien. If Dylan O'Brien was 5'7", oh, Dylan O'Brien. If he was 5'7", I'm down. O'Brien. Sorry, Ludwig. I love you, but
dude, you don't make any sense.
He is my dream.
I actually don't understand.
Dylan O'Brien? You don't understand Dylan O'Brien.